Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving deep into a truly wild and historically significant story from Virginia, 1868. It's a tale that sounds like it's straight out of a Hollywood movie, but it's absolutely real. The banker who bought freedom for his slave, only for that freed man to expose his former owner's crimes in open court. If you love stories of justice, defiance, and the unexpected twists of history, you're in the right place. Hit that like button and let's get into it. Imagine this: the American Civil War has just ended. The nation is fractured, rebuilding, and grappling with the monumental shift of emancipation. In Virginia, a state deeply scarred by the conflict and the institution of slavery, the air is thick with tension and uncertainty. Our story centers around two key figures: a powerful and wealthy banker named Robert and a man named Henry, who was enslaved by Robert for years. Now, Robert was a prominent figure in his community. He had built his fortune in part through the labor of enslaved people, including Henry. But as the war drew to a close and the tide of history turned irrevocably against slavery, Robert faced a dilemma, perhaps out of a newfound sense of morality, or perhaps driven by a desire to protect his reputation and assets in a changing world. Robert made a surprising decision. He chose to formally purchase Henry's freedom. This wasn't an act of charity in the modern sense. It was a transaction, an investment, perhaps even a calculated move within the complex legal and social landscape of the time. For Henry, it was a moment of profound change. After years of bondage, he was finally a free man, with all the daunting challenges and exhilarating possibilities that came with it in post Civil War America. He now had the right to make his own choices, to build his own life, and to seek justice in ways that were previously unimaginable. But here's where our story takes an incredible turn. Robert, like many wealthy individuals of his era, wasn't just a banker. He was also involved in various business dealings, some of which were, let's just say, less than transparent. In the chaos and upheaval following the war, many people tried to exploit the system, or settle old scores, or simply hide their illicit activities. Robert was no exception. It turned out that Robert had engaged in a series of fraudulent activities, schemes designed to enrich himself at the expense of others. These were not minor offenses. They were serious financial crimes that could ruin livelihoods and undermine the fragile trust people were trying to rebuild in their communities. As investigations began and whispers turned into accusations, Robert found himself in a precarious position, needing to protect his wealth and his name, and who better to have seen some of these dealings to have been present in Robert's household and witnessed certain transactions than Henry. As an enslaved man, Henry had often been an invisible observer, privy to conversations and documents that others might have dismissed as unimportant. He had been a silent witness to Robert's actions, big and small, legal and illegal. Now, as a free man, Henry had something Robert hadn't anticipated: a voice, and not just a voice, but a legal standing in court that he had been denied for his entire life. When Robert's fraudulent activities finally came to light and he was brought to trial, the prosecution was looking for witnesses, and among those they sought out was Henry. Can you imagine the scene? A courtroom in Virginia, 1868. Robert, a man of power and standing, now accused of serious crimes. And then Henry, his former slave, called to the witness stand. The tension must have been palpable. For Henry, this was more than just testifying against a former employer. It was a deeply personal moment, a chance to speak truth to power, to perhaps expose the very system that had held him captive. Henry took the stand, and he didn't hold back. With courage and clarity, he recounted what he had seen and heard during his years in Robert's household. He detailed the fraudulent schemes, the deceptive practices, the hidden dealings. His testimony was damning, precise, and incredibly powerful. It provided the court with crucial evidence, an insider's view that exposed Robert's intricate web of deceit. This was a pivotal moment not just for Henry and Robert, but for the wider society. It symbolized the seismic shifts happening in America: a former slave, now a free citizen, standing in a court of law and holding his former enslaver accountable. It was a testament to the new legal landscape, where the testimony of a black man held weight, where justice, however imperfectly, was beginning to extend its reach. Henry's testimony was instrumental in securing a conviction against Robert. The powerful banker, who had once bought Henry's freedom, was now facing the consequences of his own actions, brought down by the very person he had once controlled. It was a stunning reversal of fortune, a powerful assertion of dignity and justice. The story of Robert and Henry is a profound reminder of several things. Firstly, it highlights the complex and often contradictory nature of human actions during a turbulent period in history. Robert's decision to free Henry could be seen as a step towards moral reckoning, yet it was intertwined with his own criminal behavior. Secondly, it underscores the incredible resilience and courage of formerly enslaved people like Henry, who, despite immense adversity, found their voices and contributed to shaping a more just society. Their stories are not just footnotes. They are central to understanding the American experience. This tale also shows us that justice, though sometimes slow and circuitous, can find its way through unexpected channels. It illustrates how the act of granting freedom can, ironically, empower an individual to challenge and dismantle the very structures of oppression or corruption that once constrained them. Henry's actions were not just about personal revenge. They were about upholding the law, seeking truth, and demonstrating the profound value of human dignity and equality. So, what can we take away from this incredible historical account? It's a story about the power of testimony, the pursuit of justice, and the enduring human spirit. It reminds us that even in the darkest of times, individuals can rise above their circumstances to make a profound impact. Henry's courage in that courtroom, centuries ago, still resonates today, inspiring us to speak truth to power and to always strive for a more equitable world. Thank you so much for joining me on this historical journey. If you found this story as fascinating as I did, please give this video a big thumbs up. Don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think about Henry's incredible act of courage? And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on more captivating stories from history. We've got so many more tales to explore together. See you next time.